Hi everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the monthly economic update here on Economy.lk. We've seen a lot of developments on the economic front during the month of March, notably two things. One is the appreciation that we did see of the currency, as well as on the 20th or the 21st of March, we really saw the approval from the IMF board approving the 2.9 billion program for Sri Lanka, which will be a 4-year program as well. So talking a little bit about the latter, I think what we envisaged since March last year when we made the formal approach to the IMF was for a extended fund facility program. It will be a 4-year program with 6 months of, I would say, key performance indicators that the country will need to meet, following which we will receive level of disbursement or inflows to the country from this 2.9 billion. Already we've received the first tranche, which is close to about 330 million US dollars. A lot of the conditions that were designed to meet the IMF program were met, a lot of that being on the tax side as well. We did see a lot of steep changes made a lot more cost reflective for the utilities in terms of water, fuel, electricity as well taking place. So these have to continue. But going forward into this next 6 months, some of the key things will be the passing of the central bank bill and also announcing what the debt restructuring parameters and the framework will be, which will be key moving into April as well. But all of this is a positive signal that Sri Lanka is now on track and has a credible reform package which is backed by the IMF, and that allows us to negotiate also with our creditors, both bilateral and the international commercial creditors as well. However, even though we've got the IMF program, it's something that we will need to continue to have, because we cannot afford any delays in the program, which will stall not only the progress that the country has seen in the last few months, but also discussions with the creditors as well, which could break down if not that as well. In the lead up to the IMF program, as I mentioned, we did see the currency appreciating, and a lot of that was due to exporter conversions, high level of tourism remittances coming in, improved tourism arrivals as well, all improving the dollar liquidity situation of the banking system, and we saw an appreciation as well. But now the currency is more flexible, market determined. The central bank has also been purchasing whatever excess dollars to improve the reserve position, which is also a key target in the IMF program as well. But a lot to be done, in particular related to state-owned enterprise reform on the welfare side, so that the social safety nets are also put in place as well, and this is something we'll continue to watch as well. If you shift gears to the global side, I think still concern is of the global recession, but more recently, in particular during March, is the concern that some of these smaller banks in the US and even Europe, their exposure towards technology and some of the startup stocks, which has resulted in sometimes overexposure and sometimes bad investment decisions. A lot of banks are now coming under pressure, and there is a concern whether the next wave of financial risk will spread across the globe as well. This has two ways in terms of course, sentiment, which might be negative for consumer demand and slow down further the demand for items like apparel. But on the other side, the positive is that we can see oil prices now coming off. Oil prices was sticky around $90 a barrel. Now it's come down to less than $80 a barrel as well, which gives us some level of relief. So going forward, this is something we need to monitor in April and May as well. And of course, in April, we'll hear about the debt restructuring parameters, which has significant implications for the banking system as well as the overall movement of interest rates, which has come down, but is awaiting for the news on this. So stay tuned to Economy.lk, where we'll present you some of the key findings, some of the key recaps of the month, and provide a bit of outlook to what to look forward to in the next month. Thank you.